Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're glad you're joining us for our co-op session. Christine, do you see a little at the bottom of your screen, a little computer with a red slash through it?
Oh my gosh, yes.
You can just
I'm
press.
so
No,
sorry. I
no.
apologize. I do see it.
Don't worry. You can just press that and then it'll let you share your screen.
There we
There,
go.
I
Oh
see
my
it.
gosh. I'm so sorry. I don't even
No,
know how I
don't
missed that.
worry. Don't worry. I'm going to pop off if you're good to go. And welcome, everyone. We're so glad that you're here just to learn a little bit more about our co-op programs.
Thank you, Siobhan. So thank you, everybody, for joining, and thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. I'm so sorry about that. I've only delivered this presentation like 100 times, but yet somehow things always come up. So welcome to the Graduate Co-op presentation. I'm really excited to speak to you. I know that I can't see everyone, but I look forward to answering some questions as well after. So what I'll do is I'll just skip through. I have a presentation here. It's 15 slides, so I'm hoping it'll take 10 minutes, and then I'd love to open up to the floor to people who have questions about the co-op program. So again, welcome and thank you for considering McMaster University for your graduate studies. So just a little bit about me. My name's Christine Rich. I've worked now at McMaster for almost 10 years. I started off in health sciences. I was actually in human resources and business development are my background and probably my strongest suits. So I worked in health sciences for about 5 years. I've now been in engineering for nearly 5. I worked for a few years with the School of Engineering Practice, primarily focusing on admissions, and then I moved over to the co-op and careers office almost 3 years ago actually in September. So very happy with that. Prior to joining McMaster, I worked at a very busy staffing firm. And for somebody, if you don't know what a staffing firm does, we actually I was hired to place people in jobs. So I worked with a number of different clients. I worked with a lot of IT customers. I worked with a lot of federal and provincial government because they hire a lot of temporary staff. And, you know, essentially I was the person who was developing positions, reaching out to clients, trying to recruit them to basically let me find people to work in their different organizations. So I worked with a lot of administration, junior engineering. I worked with, you know, finance professionals, a lot of different clients, a lot of different people, a lot of different sectors, and it was amazing. So yeah, like I said, I've been a member of McMaster now for almost 10 years. So I'm very excited to see where the rest of my career continues. Now, I don't work alone. I work in a fabulous team. I love our team. I love engineering. Engineering is a fabulous faculty to work in. And this is actually an old picture now that I look at it. But essentially, we have 19 full-time team members. On top of that, we have 2 career assistants, and then we have 5 amazing support staff who help with a lot of our records. So 9 of us are in these roles, and what we call it is career development and relationship manager. And what those mean is that I work with students and I work with employers. So for example, I do have an undergrad portfolio. I work with civil engineering students, and I would work with any of the employers who would hire civil engineering students. I also work with all of the master's and PhD students from across the entire Faculty of Engineering. I've been doing this now for almost 3 years, and it's been a pleasure getting to learn about everybody in the exciting research that they're working on and what their interests are. And then I also work with the employers who would hire these students. So it's a very diverse role. And like I said, my team members would have a similar position. So Adam works with the software students. Jesse works with the electrical students. We're a very tight-knit team. We work very well together. Our career assistants, they help us with creating career education material, and they also help us with student appointments, organizing employer events. There's a lot of activity that happens within our office. And then we also have, like I said, 5 amazing support staff and also an amazing manager. and our support staff are really those frontline people. And I want to highlight them because if you walk into our engineering co-op and career services office, they're the people that are at the main desk answering your questions. They're always smiling and they're super helpful and resourceful. So this is my team, recognizing right now that we're virtual. But if you were emailing Eng Co-op or EngCar, you're still getting the same smiling people on the other side. I'm just going to flip to the next slide here, and I'm actually just going to populate all 4 of these sections. Here we go. And of course, I have my notes because I cannot have notes. So, like I mentioned, we have 19 staff members. We have 12 TAs. So the TAs work with predominantly the undergrad students, because anyone entering McMaster as an undergrad student has to take 1EO, which is our career education course for first-year undergrad engineering students. And then we have 15 co-op ambassadors. So collectively, we actually have about 45 people, which is sort of cool. Our team is definitely exploding, and I think there may even be new positions on the horizon. So our co-op ambassadors are actually students. So they help us a lot with events, like leading student events. It's a great way for them to learn about the employers, work with the employers, and support the employers, as well as with our team. Second point here is that we have won awards. So I think it was 2 years ago now, we were nominated by TalentNeg, and as Innovation by Career Center. And a lot of this has to do actually with our Employer of the Week. So we have, I was going to get into this later, but we have, this year we've held alone about 300 career-related events with different employers. We're happy to bring whoever you want to see on campus, and that's sort of the truth. Your interests are our interests, and the idea in the co-op and careers office is that we work together, and we hope to be a bit of a gateway between yourself and your employer of choice. So we hold, it's called the Employer of the Week. We've been running this series now, I believe it's in its 3rd year, where we will feature one employer per either industry cluster or program. So for example, this year we had Aecon for civil engineering students. Aecon hires a lot of our students. It was amazing. They were virtually on campus doing 3 or 4 events throughout that week to really let the students connect with Aecon. And each year we choose, 7 or 8 employers that we can work with in this way. So we like to be, part of what we're doing is definitely about it's the career education. And our team likes to consider ourselves as educators, but not advisors. So I can't tell you what to do with your career, but what I can do is I can provide you with knowledge that we've learned from our team, from courses that we've taken, from speaking to the employers, and that's what we can do, and that's what we can bring to you. Each term we hold about, I think this term actually we've already had 1,200 individual student appointments, which is a big piece of what we do. When we meet with you, so you can book appointments with our team, and it's a service that we offer to all of the engineering students. And we're going to teach you how to tailor your resumes for job applications, how to effectively search for co-op positions in this hidden job market. We also hold sessions to teach you how to mine for LinkedIn, or mine for jobs on LinkedIn, or find that perfect person that maybe has the same research interests as you, and teach you to have the confidence to reach out to these people, because we all know the hidden job market is about 85% of positions, right? So you need to have that courage. We run workshops for networking events, so that when you attend one of our networking events, you know how to approach employers and you're confident. So this master's and PhD co-op option, which is, I love to talk about it, and I'm very happy that you're here. I see there's a number of questions here as well. So after the presentation, I'll pop over and see if there's any questions about co-op specifically. So the master's and PhD co-op option, it started about 3 years ago now, September 2017. And to date, we've had about 200, I'd say by the end of the summer, we've probably had about 250 students take advantage of the graduate co-op option to gain work experience, which is something that I'm very proud of. I really love working with the grad students. So this allows the grad students to work outside of the university in positions that are relevant to their degree and really gain that professional work experience. So there's a lot of different places you can work. You have different options. You might choose to work in the area of government. You might choose to work in those small to medium enterprises. You might want to work for some of the larger consulting firms, the crown corporations, startup, some of those top tech companies like, you know, Google, IBM, AMD, Huawei. All of these places are where our graduate students are finding and securing co-op. And what this does is the master's and PhD co-op option, it's a bit flexible. So it allows a student, you know, you have to opt into the program. So once you've joined McMaster, you'll get an invitation from me. And actually, I'll show you the next slide in a minute, but you're going to attend it's 6 sessions with me. We're going to talk about, it's called the Engineering Co-op Preparation Course for graduate students. And yeah, then you'll have access to all these top companies. So master's and PhD students can work for up to 4 to 12 months in paid work experience, which is pretty amazing. So I love this slide, you know, all about you, it's your choice. It's your co-op, and I really love this because it's just the truth. So McMaster is the only university that I know of in Ontario that actually has a master's and PhD engineering co-op option. Sorry, I get nervous sometimes. And as this slide indicates here, it's all about you, it's your co-op, and it's your choice. And I love this because only you will know. You know, every student that I meet is working on a different research project, or they have a different interest, or they have different backgrounds. You already have work experience. You might have already participated in co-op, you know, maybe at the undergrad level, and you want to go out and gain more work experience. And employers really, you know, they're looking at the co-op students. Many students will walk away after they've participated in their co-op with job offers in hand, which is amazing. So like I mentioned before, a graduate student can do between 4 to 12 months of co-op. You might choose to do 3 4-month terms. You might just want to do an 8-month term. This is where there's lots of flexibility in the program, and I'm very happy to speak with you individually so I can learn more about what you're looking for, and I can talk to you about some of our top employers, and yeah, you can decide if you want to do co-op. So the importance for students for co-op, this is sort of self-explanatory in some ways, but it definitely is that, you know, it allows you, you know, when it comes to your technical skills, you can take what you've learned in the academic setting and then you can apply it in the workplace. So employers are looking at projects that you've done. They want to take that knowledge, which is so relevant to what they're looking for, and you can now take that experience that you've learned, you know, at McMaster, and you can apply it in one of these organizations you're going to be applying to work for. It's going to allow you to develop some of those transferable skills, you know, maybe your project management, your communication skills, teamwork, you know, and you can apply these in the workforce. Co-op definitely makes you more competitive for jobs following graduation. It's an opportunity for you to build your professional network, which is very, very important. You know, right now as a student, a lot of the students are your network, but you want to go in these work in these different organizations, join committees. You want to meet contractors, you want to meet suppliers, you want to meet people that work for the different municipalities, and these are all work contacts. So when you graduate, you know, this is your professional network now. It sort of changes your identity, I guess, in some ways. I've never thought about it like that, but it sort of does. And then obviously, you know, potential higher starting salary. The salaries for graduate students are very, very diverse. You know, I really don't even want to say what they are. I'm going to say the sky's the limit. So it's pretty amazing. So this is it's the online prep course. So it does say first year here. But what happens is basically when you join McMaster, depending on the length of your program, I would advise if you're interested in co-op that you take the co-op preparation course within your first to second term of school. If you're an international student, what I do is I actually give you a letter to apply for your co-op work permit, and after you've completed the course, then you can start to look for employment. You do have to have your supervisor's permission, so that's very important that you speak with your supervisor. And what you're going to do is you're going to align the terms. You're going to think about your studies, think about your projects, your PhD, all of these things that you're doing, and you're going to decide when is the best time for you to try to pursue working, and we're going to talk about that. So the co-op preparation course is 5 to 6 weeks. It's just 1 hour per week. It's basically like a seminar. I provide you a lot of resources. It's a pass-fail course. It really focuses around career education. So thinking about, the skills that I am going to teach you and talk to you about, and a lot of this will be done as well in one-on-one appointments, is to prepare you for your future. So we are going to discuss how you can write, a branded resume, cover letter, LinkedIn profile. We're going to talk about some of those job search strategies, the hidden job market, how to approach some of your connections, how to tell people that you're looking for work and practice that elevator pitch. We are going to talk about interview skills so that when you finally do get that job offer, that interview request, you can come to me, and then we can do a mock interview together. And then, of course, with any job offer always comes negotiation and then workplace professionalism. So how to negotiate that job offer, and then once you start working, how do you prepare for this world of work? So these are all topics that we'll discuss. This talks here a little bit about the program. So the way that we have it as of now is that the master's program, if you're in a one-year master's, you can do a co-op for 4 months. If you're in a program that is 2 years or 2 years or more, essentially, you can work in co-op for up to 12 months. So this might be, maybe you just want to do a 4-month work term because that's all you want. That is fine. This comes down to it being your co-op. It's your choice and whatever you would like to do. But note that having this option allows a lot of opportunity. We have a lot of employers that are coming to McMaster and they're looking for students who can work in 12-month positions. So being a master's or a PhD student, if you are a student for at least 24 months, then you would have this option available to you. Now, why are employers coming to McMaster? It's actually amazing. So the truth is you're already a pre-vetted group of amazing students, right? You're high achievers. You're working on very specific research. You're amazing people. You're amazing citizens. That's why they're coming to McMaster. I take anywhere between 5 to 6 meetings per week talking to new employers who want to engage with our students. So they're coming because they would like to hire you for one of those flexible work terms. Most employers get a tax credit letter as well, which helps with their budgeting and planning. And 98% of our employers said that they would hire a McMaster engineering student again, which is amazing. So I'd like to just talk a little bit about events. Events are a really big portion of what my team and the 45 members of my team spend our time doing. This academic year that isn't quite over yet, but from September until now, we've already held over 300 employer-related events for students to attend. So I know they were virtually, but they were still very, very effective. We have some employers that have actually stopped posting jobs because they just want to come to events. They want to meet people. They want to see them, even if they're on camera. They want to hear their voices. They want to see their smiles and talk about their research. And then they would like to make them job offers. And as co-op, part of it being, co-op and your choice is it's amazing. You can work at all of these. You don't have to work with one of our industry partners, but we probably work very closely with about 3,000, maybe 4,000 industry partners now, right? For a group of, like I said, there's only 9 of us that are in this relationship manager role. That's a lot of ground to cover, and it's very, very exciting for you as students. Last year, we had over 1,000 employers that were actually on campus, so shaking people's hands, doing all of these different sessions. So what do? I have a small list here, but it's not even it's not the whole list. So smaller events, we have quite a few of these. They probably take between 30 to 50 people, company information sessions. We have interview workshops, say with like Amazon, RBC. We have many industry guest speakers from across all of the different sectors or areas or departments of engineering. We have talent talks, we have tech talks, all kind of cool things. Then we have our larger events. So big mock interview nights. We have a women in engineering night, which was amazing this year. We have industry nights. So depending on the department or the industry research cluster that you're interested in, you can attend these events as well. Different weeks, space weeks. We have hackathons, all kinds of cool stuff. And then we have career fairs. So we have a very large career fair that happens throughout the whole university, actually, in September. And then there's another one that's actually coming up on March 3rd. So lots going on. This is a small sample here of some of our employers. I recognize it's really hard for you to probably see this. I tried to break it up. I should probably update it now that I said we're probably at about 250 students now that have done co-op. But this is a sample of some of our employer partners, you know, Huawei, AMD, Rogers, AdLib Software, IBM, Synopsys, Procter & Gamble, RBC, Deloitte, Ministry of Health, Baylis Medical, Honda, Stelco, Magna, WestRock, the City of Hamilton, WSP. Many of our students actually will also work at McMaster University in different positions, L3 WestCam. Definitely our top employers at the graduate and undergraduate level. And these were some of the employers who hired our greatest number of students. And one of the things I find kind of cool is that all of these employers actually hire our graduate students now, and they're probably at the point where they've hired, and I mean just in co-op, you know, somewhere between 5 and 10 of the graduate students into these co-op positions. So really amazing. These are some of the larger companies, but like I said, you can work and you can work anywhere you want. It's your co-op and it's your choice. So this is, again, just another list of some of the companies that have hired our students. And then I think what I can do, I'm almost done my presentation here. I can start to look through and answer some questions, or I don't know if people have the ability to come live, but if you do, I'd be very happy to see people in person too. Last slide I have here is just talking about this is our Fireball Academy. So if you Google fireballacademy.mcmaster.ca, you're going to see some of the resources that our team has been creating towards this career education model that we've talked about. There's about 47 resume samples. We have tip sheets for job searching, interview skills, and resumes. We have lots of videos. Lots of cool stuff. So I invite you to check out the Fireball Academy. And that's it. So I'm going to stop sharing. And then maybe what I'll do is just answer some questions here. So what do we have? So there's a question here from Satish. And it says, does the co-op program have a grade associated to it, and is it something we do out of our own interest with no grade? How do we get a chance to do the co-op? Excellent. So the co-op, I should have said, it's a pass-fail chorus. You're going to pass. You're going to meet with me. We're going to do 6 sessions together, 6 sort of seminars, and then I will review your what we call your branding package, your resume and cover letter package. The way that it works is that you opt into the co-op once you have joined McMaster. So once your studies start, either in September or January or May, whatever term you're coming, I send around an email with the registration forms, and then you get your supervisor to sign off. So that's the first step. Okay, the next question here is COPE available for computational science and engineering? Yes, it definitely is. The co-op is an option for all programs at the graduate level. And there's from Faisal. It says, I've just joined the meeting. How can I know whether I'm able to choose 4 or 8 months of co-op? I'm applying for a full-time manufacturing engineering program. So the co-op is, the way it works is that it is, so yes, you can do co-op. I believe for your length, Faisal, it's probably going to be 4 or 8 months. The co-op is dependent on the length of your program, and I believe that program might be 16 months. So for that reason, your length of co-op, it'll be somewhere between 4 and 8 months. There's a question here from Charvi saying, how many computer graduate students get co-op from McMaster? The computer science, electrical engineering, manufacturing, at this point, we have students from all of the different program areas who are opting into the co-op. And then my thoughts and my perception is that if you're serious about your job search and you're actively applying to positions, most students do find a co-op. It's hard for me to know because sometimes what happens is through the process of looking for co-op, people find full-time jobs and they're close to their graduation, or some students decide that they want to focus on their research, which is also fine. Either way, I'm here to support you with anything that you need that's career related. And question here from Anwar, I'm applying to one of the computer science programs. Do you think it would be easy to find a job at the university like a lab instructor? A lot of there's a lot of there's definitely a lot of undergrad positions. Anwar, I don't know the answer to that question. I would say it's something that where you might want to check in with your department. And maybe even like we'd have to look at the jobs. It also depends, like there's a lot of different factors involved in working at the university. So I'm not sure, but yes, people do work at the university at the graduate level in labs. And from Cheng V, it says, hi, I was wondering if the co-op terms could count as academic credits. So it's no, it doesn't. So the co-op is separate. Like when you're doing co-op, it's actually part of it's considered part of your study permit. Like it's part of your studying. And it is, like when you take the co-op preparation course, I believe it's 1.5 units, but no, it's not part of your academic credits. This is in addition to help you with career education. And is there any other questions? Matt has a question. Oh, Dubai, amazing. I'm pursuing graduate studies in computing and software. I have a background in mechanical engineering. Do I qualify and apply? Yes, you do. You qualify for whatever you're interested in, which is sort of the amazing part. And I'd be very happy to walk you through different options. We'd have to do this either through an individual appointment or, when we meet in person on campus in September, or whenever we're back on campus. But I'd say with those two backgrounds, you have a very diverse, different positions that you can apply for. The next question, are there many offers of co-op for chemical engineering students, specifically chemical engineering? Oh, wait, I lost it because there's more. Unfortunately, I didn't notice that many mention of chemical engineering on the slide. So chemical engineering, it's a smaller group of students who have opted into co-op. I should probably update my slides. We've definitely had chemical engineering students go out and do co-op. And also, a lot of the companies, or many of the companies that would hire chemical engineering, like we have a whole undergrad, like we have an undergraduate co-op program, and many of those chemical engineering companies would love to hire graduate students if you were interested in it. And this is from Ziyang. Hi, how many is the average salary for co-op students in engineering design? I don't have the average salaries on me. Like, I don't have that information. There's a very big range. Co-op students at the master's and PhD level are somewhere between $20 and $50 an hour. There's a very large range of what the employers pay in terms of salary. For Faisal, so again, we just have to look at your department. If your program's 12 months, then you'd be able to do a 4-month position at this time. From Satish, do we have to simultaneously do the graduate course while on an internship? So no. So what happens is when you're working, you're working. So you actually will take that term away from school. So you're not paying your regular tuition fees as well. There is a co-op. It's a administration fee that you would pay, but it wouldn't be the same price or the same cost as your regular tuition. And then you're out for that whole entire term or terms, and you're working. And then from Egypt, is it possible to have a part-time job while being full-time MEng in the program? That would be according to your work permit. You can likely work part-time, but a part-time position wouldn't be considered co-op. So co-op is a full-time paid position, and for it to be counted as co-op, it must be at least 12 weeks in length in that term. And Cheng Vi, I also wondered if there are any jobs specifically available for McMaster co-op students. So I think you mean working at McMaster. So yes, some of our students are hired at the graduate level. Many of them choose to work, like a lot of the students that I work with are working in industry, but there are positions that are at McMaster as well, yes. And Parmpreet, hi, does opting for co-op in a master's program affect post-study work permit duration? No, it doesn't. So it doesn't because your academic program is just the length of your academic program. And then what happens is the co-op it doesn't extend the length of your program. So no, it doesn't impact your postgraduate work permit as far as I know. There is a place you'd want to check maybe, which would be immigration@mcmaster.ca if you had specific immigration questions. But as far as I know, when you're doing a co-op, it is part of your study, but it's not contributing to the length of your program. And Mohammed, if I'm studying for a 2-year program, what is the duration of the co-op I'm allowed to have? Mohammed, you can work then for up to 12 months, starting May 2021. I believe we are revising the policy. It's just underway now, and it will be up to 12 months. At this current time, it's actually 8 months, but I believe it's changing. Is there any other questions? What is the best way to start your job search approaching graduation? The best way to find a job, Anthony, is definitely through word of mouth. It is definitely through networking. It's through attending events. So if you're, not a McMaster student yet, but you're going to be joining, you're going to want to take advantage of some of these 300 opportunities that I mentioned, where you can actually network with employers and make connections. I heard of a student today. She's a master's student and she met somebody 2 years ago. She saw a company she wanted to work for. She reached out to that person she met with 2 years ago, and that person hired her. It was like amazing. So job boards, they're fine, but really you could have 200 or 300 people applying for that same position that you want. So it's a very small chance that you'll actually get the interview. You need to have a contact inside, or somebody that you've met in person, or that can refer you. Even if you have a friend referring you to another company, it's more powerful than just applying to a random job board. And LinkedIn is a great place. LinkedIn has, I don't know, it's like 600 million users or something like that. There's nothing like LinkedIn in terms of being able to do research on companies. There is nothing else that even competes with LinkedIn. And Nasrul, so does co-op have to be full-time as in 40 hours a week? Does it go simultaneously with the usual grad studying or in between semesters during the summer? So yeah, it's full-time hours, and it really depends. You can do your co-op all different times. It might be in the summer, but it might be in September. It might be in January. all different times. Employers are constantly posting. It really depends on when it fits in best with your studies and with your program and like how it aligns with your research and all that. Anthony, it's sort of hard to, you could write me an email if you want. So my email address is just, I'll put it here. So it's just richc2@mcmaster.ca. So if you want it there, you could send me an email, Anthony. I'd be happy to talk to you about that. And Faisal. If I choose to go with 8 months co-op, is it flexible when to choose the co-op semesters? Faisal, we'd have to talk about what the exact program was that you were joining, and then there usually is flexibility. You have to be returning at the end of your co-op for at least one term of courses or to defend your research project and present. So you can't have graduated. So there is some flexibility. And this is what's great about the graduate co-op program, is that there's just lots of flexibility. So I really do work closely with students one-on-one to learn what is best for them. And from Divyam, I wanted to ask if there's any co-op placement guidance services on the campus available. Also, is this placement a bit competitive at McMaster? Yes, any job you're going to apply for is going to be competitive. If you're applying for, we actually have a job board. So McMaster has a job board. It's called Oscar Plus. If you are in the co-op option, you can see it. The engineering co-op job board is only for students who have opted into the co-op program. We've already had 1,600 positions that have been posted this term. It's amazing. So there's lots of resources to help you. You're welcome. So is there any other questions? Okay, if there's no other questions, I'll let you get back to the different sessions and the expo, but thank you very much for your time. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. And I look forward to meeting you. Faisal, just one last question. Is there any condition to join co-op? Just that you speak with your supervisor, and we should connect as well. Okay, thank you, everyone. You're welcome. I look forward to meeting everybody.